Ike Phillips, former football coach.
Former NFL coach. Not head coach, but he was part of the staff, I'm pretty sure, on the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, as a defensive coach. Very impressive man. And ladies and gentlemen, speaking of things that are indisputable, while it is indisputable that the OTW fan nation is heavily favoring Ike Phillips in this match, another fact that is indisputable is that Mick Drake, for the better part of about 2 years, as he is saying right now to the OTW fan nation, has been the OTW Classic champion. Bar a few months where he was injured, he pretty much has held that title pretty consistently. Only one man was able to take it off of him. And I forget who that man was. Would you remind me who that man was?
I think you're mistaken. That man was not me.
Yes.
No, it was not me.
Yes, you won it after he had to vacate it. That's right.
After he had to vacate it.
That's right.
But trust me, I was coming for him if he was the champion.
Yeah, I know. I tried to give you a little credit, but you, my friend, are too honest, too kind-hearted. Everything a commissioner should be. I get it.
Cannot take credit for something I did not do.
Well, that perhaps is maybe one big difference you have between you and Mick Drake. However, that championship belt has been firmly around his waist again for the better part of 2 years.
But Ike Phillips, he looks ready.
Well, Ike Phillips, yes, is finding himself incredibly primed. Ike Phillips, perhaps finding himself in the best condition he's ever found himself in. He's got some brand new tights. He's got literally still about half the audience still on their feet for him. They have refused to sit down for him. And senior referee Adam Galt, hosting our first half main event, will also be refereeing our main event later this evening. The OTW fan nation. Yeah. Mick Drake is telling the OTW fan nation, do you think I'm intimidated? Just because half the crowd is up for him. And listen, it's hard to dispute Mick Drake, proven time and time again to be a credible threat to pretty much anyone he faces.
Mick Drake, he has the size advantage this matchup.
And he is using it. Mick Drake is
proving it.
On the record, on our talk show, Gold Talk Wrestling, is on the record as saying that he does not believe Ike Phillips is on the same level as him. Well, he just put him about 3 levels above him there.
Mick Drake, he does not give credit where credit's due, but I will. Mick Drake is a great athlete. He's huge, and he's in maybe the best shape of his life. But Ike Phillips is also a great athlete. He is also in the best shape of his life, and he's ready for this match. Well, size may be an issue right now, but the size of Ike Phillips' heart and the OTW fan nation behind him is, in my opinion, what's going to drive him through this match, and maybe even bring him this second championship, and that's the OTW Classic Championship.
Well, I hope so, because the start of this match is definitely heavily favored Mick Drake. For the 3rd time, Mick Drake is taking control of Ike Phillips, and now he's patting his head.
Messing around with Ike Phillips.
Yes, scuffing his hair a little bit, trying to show him what he believes. Mick Drake, again, saying that Ike Phillips is out of his league. And to this credit is showing that. And now we're seeing a little bit less wrestling and a little bit more back and forth. Ike Phillips not afraid to show some force. Mick Drake matching in kind, though.
He did not seem to enjoy that slap to the face that Ike Phillips gave him.
I will say this, the OTW fan nation enjoyed the slap to the face that Ike Phillips gave Mick Drake. However, they're not enjoying this.
Mick Drake putting the boots to Ike Phillips in the corner there. And a huge belly-to-belly suplex.
He cleared the ring. Mick Drake took him from one corner straight to the other corner. And now driving his knee across the chest of Ike Phillips. Again, this just goes back to Mick Drake's mentality. He's doing big, heavy moves.
And here's another one.
Trying to show.
Oh, and
Ike Phillips.
Mick Drake just tossing Ike
Again.
Phillips across the ring once again.
And it must be eating at Ike Phillips. Finding himself in this situation, obviously not giving up, but finding himself in a vulnerable spot. I do not think he came into this match expecting to be finding himself in this position.
Mick Drake just throwing Ike Phillips out of the ring.
And Mick Drake is now taking a seat on the top turnbuckle.
He's basically telling Ike Phillips, you do not deserve to be here with me. And throwing him out. And obviously, listen to the crowd right now. Listen to the crowd. Ike Phillips is not going to give up easily. Mick Drake is going to have to do a lot more than that to put Ike Phillips away.
Well, as you said, the heart of Ike Phillips is definitely larger than the size of the man. And Mick Drake again.
Mick Drake not even letting him get his foot into the ring.
Mick Drake is trying to make a statement here. Mick Drake is not a man who doesn't like to eat his own words. He is trying to back up his belief that Ike Phillips just isn't quite in his league, just isn't quite on the same level. And now Mick Drake is
taking.
I thought he was taking a breather in the corner. However, it looks, while senior referee Adam Gold is trying to keep an eye on Ike Phillips, trying to keep it taken care of.
I think the ref might have saw him.
I think he did too. I think he saw Mick Drake do it.
Mick Drake exposing the turnbuckle.
Yes, clearing it all the way out, maybe into that top level. And Mick Drake
once again hitting Ike Phillips off the apron down to the floor, and the ref will restart the count.
And Mick Drake also challenging the referee. He said, if you can go find it, you can put it back on, in reference to the turnbuckle pad. Mick Drake just sitting there smiling at the adoring Ike Phillips fans. There's a sign in the crowd that's asking Ike Phillips to tear his PCL again, obviously in reference to when Ike Phillips may or may not have been the cause of Mick Drake's torn PCL. Clearly the OTW fan nation believes it and believes that Ike Phillips should do it again. It is a heinous thing to try to ask, I believe.
I don't want to comment on that. I do not want to comment on that.
Ike Phillips. Oh, again! Mick Drake completely caught off guard. Mick Drake was not expecting this. Ike Phillips trying to find something inside him.
Oh, Ike Phillips with a huge clothesline in the corner to Mick Drake.
Very much is. Mick Drake almost went flying over that top turnbuckle.
Here comes a whip. And reversal by Mick Drake.
Mick Drake again trying to find control.
Ike Phillips gets out of the way at the last second.
And he eats that post, ladies and gentlemen, his shoulder, I'm pretty sure, hit that post. May have been able to stop himself. Ike Phillips.
Oh, a huge shoulder tackle right to that shoulder.
Yeah, I think he did find a way to hit the post.
And there's another one.
And every shoulder tackle the OTW fan nation gets just a little louder.
And a huge drop kick from Mick Drake right to the face.
Yeah, shuts
Ike
down.
Phillips.
Shuts down the OTW fan nation. They were firmly in the corner of Ike Phillips, but now they find themselves a little bit silenced here.
Not only did he shut down the crowd, he shut down Ike Phillips' momentum.
Well, the crowd is trying to get back in his corner, yelling "We like Ike."
Huge backbreaker right to the spine of Ike Phillips.
The OTW fan nation still holding up their signs for Ike Phillips. Still believe it, but Mick Drake again finding himself in the position that he believes he should be in. On top, above Ike Phillips.
Mick Drake, numerous shots right to the head of Ike Phillips. And I can see from here, he's feeling them. He is feeling those shots.
Well, Mick Drake, like I said, he likens himself as being in a different league. If Mick Drake was the NFL, then Ike Phillips is the CFL. That's the Canadian Football League, if you didn't know.
I know what
I just wanted to make sure.
CFL.
I know you spend a lot of time watching wrestling. There are other things in the world. I just wanted to make sure you're aware.
Know. I'm actually surprised that you knew what that was.
Well, believe it or not, I'm a very cultured man. That's what happens when you have money. You can go do things. I don't have to sit back and what? What was your first job? Was probably McDonald's, right, Steve?
Not at all. Thank you very much. Not at all.
Yeah, of course. Your first job was being a professional wrestler, which is the way Mick Drake treats it. Mick Drake treats his first job as being a professional wrestler. Probably why he's so damn good.
Huge elbows by Ike Phillips to the face of Mick Drake, trying to get out of this Waist lock. Mick Drake, he's still in control of Ike Phillips, but
and
and
again,
a Russian leg sweep.
leg sweep, big leg sweep. And the
Ike
OTW
Phillips
Fan
landed
Nation,
very high.
he did, and the OTW Fan Nation again feeling silenced. Mick Drake is again shutting down the OTW Fan Nation, not willing to give him the satisfaction of seeing Ike Phillips in control.
Mick Drake heading to the second rope.
And he's lining up for something big.
He was going for a double axe handle.
Ike
Phillips
Phillips
gets a punch into his midsection. And there's a double single arm DDT right to the arm of Mick Drake. And that's actually the injured shoulder that hit the post earlier.
Yes, it is. Ike Phillips.
Huge uppercut in the corner.
That's his former boxing background, not just the former NFL coach.
Mick Drake
was also a boxer, trying to use that to his advantage. Mick Drake up to the top again. Now hitting that diving elbow.
Diving elbow.
And bringing himself up like that.
Mick Drake saying that you are not phasing me right now.
Oh, he just stared directly into all the fans that are still standing for Ike Phillips. And again, Mick Drake, he's been a dominant champion for the better part of 2 years. It's
right
tough.
to the midsection of Ike Phillips.
You know, we asked him if Ike Phillips could be the guy that would take the championship off him, and he said that he could be the guy, but he wouldn't be. And
Here's a cover. Ike Phillips able to kick out at one.
Well, yes.
That was a pretty deep cover. And that's just credibility to his heart. He's not giving up easily.
Well, listen, if I was him, I would be having a tough time giving up too. If I had half the OTW Fan Nation standing up for me, I wouldn't want to give up either. If anything, that's a positive for Ike Phillips, and that's a detriment against Mick Drake. You know, half the OTW Fan Nation should be standing up for Mick Drake. The better part of 2 years is a very impressive time to hold that classic championship.
Maybe they do not respect how he retains, how he won it. People have different morals, different opinions.
Yeah, well, morals and opinions don't win matches, moves do. And right now, the man with the most moves is definitely Mick Drake. Oh.
Here comes a sunset flip by Ike Phillips.
And actually, manages to roll him through. I did not think he was going to roll him through.
And crucifix.
Oh, he's trying
to. And he gets him down.
He does get him down. Again, he gets him down when I didn't expect it.
Very deep crucifix pin right there by Ike Phillips. Almost taking the OTW Classic Championship away from Mick Drake.
Driving his head into his knee and now picking him up. Oh, no.
He gets away from it. Knee right to the back of Mick Drake.
And perhaps just a small bit of retribution from Ike Phillips. Now putting Mick Drake in the situation that he found himself in earlier.
But here's the difference. Ike Phillips needs Mick Drake to be in the ring for him to walk away with the OTW Classic Championship. Mick Drake did not need him in the ring to retain.
Well, that is true. Ike Phillips,
flipping him into the ring.
Yes. Unceremoniously dumping him back into the ring. And Ike Phillips, perhaps drawing from the OTW Fan Nation, is feeling it.
Going to the ropes right now.
And again, perhaps he's trying to give Mick Drake a little taste of his own medicine.
Ike Phillips on the second rope right now.
Bring him up. I thought he was going to go for that back elbow. Yeah.
Huge
German suplex.
Huge German suplex.
And perhaps there was a mistake on Mick Drake's part. Mick Drake normally bridges that German suplex. He was not able to keep his hands clasped.
If he was able to bridge there, we might have seen the end of this match.
And perhaps his own confidence as he's pulling Ike Phillips up. All right, I'll give you this one. He's pulling him up by his hair. And now pick him up and... I forgot the exposed turnbuckle.
The exposed turnbuckle almost puts his face right into it.
He was going to drop on that exposed turnbuckle. I completely forgot that.
And kick right to the midsection of Ike Phillips. Shuts down his momentum once again. And a huge block.
And again, just
another
shot
right.
Another shot after shot. And the OTW Fan Nation is loving it. Mick Drake with that high knee.
Him down. This is a back and forth matchup as of now. But Mick Drake seems to be getting the better of him.
And now picking him up. Driving the knee.
Knee right to Mick Drake's
face.
Drake
holds his composure, but again, Ike Phillips, another knee.
And a huge suplex from Ike Phillips to Mick Drake.
And a man who is about 1.5 Ike's size just got thrown around by him. The OTW Fan Nation is now jumping up and down, chanting "We like Ike," trying to get him back.
Ike Phillips feeling the pain in his back right now.
And the OTW Fan Nation fervently chanting, "We like Ike." However, Ike Phillips, if he wants to be liked by the OTW fan nation, needs to find himself back to his feet.
Referee out of ball, already at 5.
Senior referee checking on both men before each count. 6, Ike Phillips.
Mick Drake to his feet.
Oh, again a block.
Ike blocks punch. Another punch. Another right.
Using his boxing
And a
background.
huge uppercut.
Using his boxing background, finding the better of Mick Drake there. Trying to prove that, yes, Mick.
Huge atomic drop.
And we've seen Mick Drake use that same move now. Ike Phillips is using it. Big swinging neck breaker. We've seen that before.
The OTW fan nation still on their feet.
Ike Phillips has turned the tide, ladies and gentlemen, trying to prove that he is, in fact, on the same level as Mick Drake, that he is in the same class.
Mick Drake trying to get away, but it just leads him to another corner. Ike Phillips with a huge clothesline in the corner. See where he's going to go from here.
I think Ike Phillips has dispelled the doubt that was in his head, trying to find himself in the same league.
Another reversal by Mick Drake.
Oh,
elbow up by Ike.
Bringing that elbow up. Mick Drake finding himself a little dazed by the corner. And what? Oh no!
Huge bulldog off the second
rope. Oh my God!
Off of the second rope.
Ike
This
Phillips.
could be the end
of
Mick Drake's reign.
He needs to go for the cover though.
I don't think so.
Oh no! He's setting up for something bigger. Mick Drake. Mick Drake not eating this. Oh! And drives his shoulder into the chest, I believe.
Mick Drake got him up on the shoulder.
Mick Drake going for the dagger drive.
Oh, vicious.
Hits that dagger drive.
It could be over.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's probably it. Ladies and gentlemen, Ike Phillips put up a...
Ike Phillips getting his shoulder up at the very last second.
I was going to say Ike Phillips put up a valiant fight, but the fight is not out of Ike Phillips yet.
Ike Phillips staying alive here in this match, keeping this matchup going.
And the OTW fan nation, again, men, women, children are like chanting for Ike. Mick Drake trying to not let it faze him, but clearly something has changed in his mindset.
Mick Drake, he seems frustrated.
Putting him into that corner.
Huge shot. Huge shot right to Ike Phillips midsection.
And again, now getting him up to that second rope. Oh, getting him up to the top rope, rather. And Ike Phillips, again blocks the shot.
Another block.
Kick to the gut.
Another. Mick Drake catches foot.
Yeah, thought he had. Pushed him all the way off.
Nice push off. Let's see
Ike
where he
Phillips
goes from here.
off the second rope.
Goes for a double axe handle.
And again,
Mick Drake looking back at that exposed turnbuckle.
Sees it. Ike Phillips catches himself.
Huge elbow.
And baits Mick Drake in. Mick Drake a little confused.
Maybe baits him in again. Mick Drake's face right to the exposed turnbuckle.
And that discus!
Huge discus!
He ate the discus!
This could be
Ladies and gentlemen, this could be over! Oh my God!
Mick Drake! Mick Drake kicking out at literally the last 10th of a second.
2.99 Mick Drake. That's why he's champion. That's why he's the dagger. That's why he's dominant. Kicks himself out.
I have to give it to him. I thought it was over.
Listen, I'll give it to Ike Phillips too. I thought it was over for Mick Drake too. Ike Phillips, I thought for sure had it done.
Ike Phillips lining up
again.
Once again.
Can Mick Drake? Mick Drake gets his feet.
Huge kick to the face.
Baits it in, uses the referee, and again, going for the dagger driver.
The dagger driver.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, chalk it up, Ike Phillips. Thanks for
2.
playing, Ike. Oh my God, what?
Ike Phillips. Ike Phillips maybe kicking out of the biggest moves in Mick Drake's artillery.
Not one. And not 2 dagger drivers, but a super kick as well. Ike Phillips managed to kick out of all 3 of those moves in a relatively quick succession.
We were speaking of the heart. We were speaking of the OTW fan nation behind Ike Phillips. And he is pushing through. He will not give up.
If there is a man in that ring who has doubts now, it could very well be Mick Drake. He believed he for sure was above Ike Phillips. He believed for sure that he was in a different league. But Ike Phillips is managing to show that he can hang in that same league. And Mick Drake pulling him aside. Mick Drake bringing him up now. Not quite sure what he has in mind. Keeping him away into the turnbuckle now. Oh, and again, trying to lift him up to that.
Lifting him up to the top rope once again.
This did not pay off for Mick Drake the last time.
And Ike Phillips, he looks out of it.
Finds himself dangling
Drake
rather
with
dazed.
Another huge right hand to the face of Ike Phillips. And
Ike Phillips can
there's
barely
the
compose
third
himself.
shot.
And it's only because Mick Drake keeps propping him back up that Ike Phillips finds himself in that situation. Oh, he turns it around on him! Wait, what?
Oh, single arm DDT into a Dixon.
No way!
Two.
I can't, no way! What?
Ike Phillips! Ike Phillips! Ike Phillips out of nowhere! Ike Phillips, the new OTW Classic Champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, the OTW Fan Nation is blowing the roof off of the OTW arena for Ike Phillips. For the better part of 2 years, Mick Drake was the man that held that Classic Championship, but now it is Ike Phillips.
Ike Phillips showing so much heart, so much determination, not giving up whatsoever.
And there is a look of pure joy, pure
Retrieving
happiness.
The OTW Classic Championship from Mick Drake.
And speaking of Mick Drake leaving in pure frustration, no joy on his face.